Oh, you're good, Ramiro.
You're camera now.
Yeah, especially when the program is really, really, really set in cement, you know? Or when it's engraved in stainless steel, titanium. Then we sometimes have to be run over with a bulldozer. It's true. That's when life gets messy. And it's good that it gets messy. Because if it doesn't get messy, then it just stays, you know, stainless steel and concrete. So, tell me what age we're at now?
40 to 50.
Yeah, and 50 being the achievement, or the, you know, it's in the same way as you count birthdays. So you say that you're an age after you've finished that whole year and you've accomplished that year. You're 18 when you've already finished living your 18th year, right? Mm-hmm. Then you start on 19, but you don't say you're 19, you say you're 18. Doesn't make sense, does it? Doesn't make sense to me.
Non.
Vous comprenez? Oui. On dit qu'on a 18 ans quand on a terminé de vivre 18 ans. Et là, après, on dit, bon, j'ai 18 ans. Mais au fait, on a déjà terminé 18 ans, on travaille sur le 19e.
Oui.
Same thing.
Donc on se rapproche de la cinquantaine plus vite comme ça.
Et en plus, dans la médecine orientale, on compte aussi le temps.
Oui.
Exactement, le temps interutérien.
Ah,
oui.
Je sais pas mal plus avancé.
Add 2 years. Yep. Finally an adult.
Va falloir qu'on se voit souvent.
Free at last.
Yep.
That's what you understand. When we learn about what it is to be an adult, what do we learn about being an adult?
Being responsible.
Yeah.
Just
Yes. But being responsible, not in the sense of becoming who you are, but in the sense of
fulfilling the desires, the rules, all of that.
Right?
Yes.
I'm responsible.
Life is over.
That life is over. Exactly. Exactly.
Le fun est fini.
Yeah.
Mais c'est flagrant parce qu'on voit les étudiants complètement wild, puis tout d'un coup, pouf, ils rentrent dans le moule.
Yeah, exactly. And the idea is that you have to sow your wild oats, you have to have your fun, because it's going to be over soon. You know, then you have to get serious. Then you have to get responsible. Then you have to become a good citizen and add to society. And, you know, all of those things. I mean, get serious.
Produire et se marier, avoir les enfants, la maison.
That's right. That's right.
Le schéma.
Yeah.
Non,
Get-
ton programme serait interdit dans les écoles.
That's right, because schools are there to prepare you for being serious and responsible adults. Good members of the workforce, paying your taxes and making sure the roads get paved and keeping Harper in government.
Except in Miss Turner's classes.
Right? So, that's not the kind of adulthood that I'm talking about. I'm talking about freedom. Imagine.
La définition de liberté aussi,
Yes,
c'est pas faire tout ce qu'on veut.
that's right. The definition of freedom. Oh, that just, you know that ad that's Freedom 55?
Oui.
Hmm?
Oui.
It used to be 65,
Oui.
but they're saying that, you know, at 55, you're free. When you're retired, right? At 65 or whenever you retire, then you're free.
Ça veut dire qu'on avait raison quand on disait qu'on perdait notre liberté en laissant,
That's right.
en devenant sérieux.
That's right. Because if they're saying that then you're free, that means that before you weren't free. Right.
Jail.
Yes, you were in prison. Right?
But then it's a struggle. People don't know how to be free. They just
That's
want
right.
to go back to
That's right.
other kind of rules.
They create different kinds
They
of
do.
structures for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, becoming grandparents and taking that responsibility very seriously. Or, you know, becoming active and active. Right?
Bénévole partout.
Exactly. Or on this committee, or on that board, or, you know.
Ils n'ont pas plus de temps pour la vie intérieure.
That's right. Exactly. So, if we look at this phase, or this next step, as the step of freedom, where we're off of the wheel and into free choice, right? We get closer and closer to this every spin around. Huh? Each time we go around a cycle, whatever that cycle might be, it could be a year, it could be a breath. Each spin around the cycle, we lift out of our beings deeper and deeper levels of duality. And the image that's coming to me is of a centrifuge spinning really fast, right? And throwing off all of the stuff until you're left with just
The diamond.
yeah, the diamond. Exactly. And the planet is doing this too. It's not just us individually. The planet herself is also doing this, spinning and throwing off anything superfluous. And we've come down to a place of choice. A real division of the waters, and a place where there are two choices. We're at the essential duality, that we've learned, and there are two choices for the future of the planet. And a lot of people are choosing one, and a lot of people are choosing the other. Have I spoken to you about Prophecy Rock on Hopi Land?
No.
This is just, Prophecy Rock is a huge boulder with an ancient petroglyph. And it's just an example of what we can find in all of the different ancient traditions. But you have the path of humanity being a straight line, and then it divides into two. And between the two, you can go back and forth up to a point, and then one continues and one stops. Okay? And the way that this is seen is that there is a division in the paths of humanity, and we can bounce in the ping pong game between the two, and then at one point there's some people who are going to continue to believe in apocalypse and obliteration, and some people who will not believe in that, and who will believe in the continuity and evolution of the planet towards a place of harmony and oneness. Both things are true. As in all duality, both are true. And both are options. There are many, many people on this planet who have been extremely invested in the timeline of apocalypse. And who have been invested in this for already over 60 years. And have set up all kinds of different kinds of structures preparing for apocalypse. And the best way to how to get the best out of apocalypse. How to succeed in apocalypse. Investing in apocalypse. This
It's a
is
new trend.
pardon me?
A new trend.
Yes. Well, yes. Yes, and there is a huge part of humanity who's very invested in this.
And could it be also the part that's invested in the suppression?
Yes. Yes. So this is the rulers, right? What they call the people who want to form the new world order. People who created the monetary system as it stands, that itself is totally based in illusion, who've created and supported and nurtured the rich and poor duality, have and have not, and who have invested a lot in that particular fear. and controlled most of humanity to a place of believing in poverty, believing in lack, believing in scarcity. Life is abundant. Abundant. Abondante. Hein?
Oui.
Il n'y a pas de pauvreté dans la vie.
Il y a de la concentration.
Alors, ça a été créé, tout ce paradigme de pauvreté et richesse.
J'entendais hier à la radio qu'il y a 200 personnes sur Terre qui possèdent la moitié de tout ce qui est un milliard là, sur la Terre. C'est possédé par 200 personnes.
Mm. Mais ça, c'est qu'est-ce qui est visible
Oui.
et en jeu.
Oui.
Sur un marché qui a aussi été manipulé, créé, défini par ces gens. Okay? Because in reality, even in concrete reality, there is a lot of wealth that has been frozen.
Oui.
And there's a huge change that's occurring now on the planet. A huge change. In the governing of the planet.
Je vous laisse.
Bye, madame. À la prochaine.
Bye.
You understand that sweet is the taste, because when we eat sugar, it puts us up into our hands, right? So that we can avoid the body. So that when you feed kids sugar, and when you make a reward of sugar, which so many people do, if you're good, I'll give you a candy. Right? First of all, if you're good, duality, I'll give you a candy.
Double.
Okay? And, you know, the white sugar is really one of the most insidious poisons. No? It is an anti-nutrient. Meaning that it takes nutrients from our body in order to digest sugar. It is an anti-nutrient. It's much more damaging. Actually, it is the forebearer of alcoholism and all other forms of drug addiction.
Well, I remember way back when I first used to see you. There was the book that came out, Le Mal du Sucre.
Yeah.
It was scary. I mean, I have it. I never read it again because it is scary.
Yeah. Sugar Blues.
Yeah.
Sugar Blues by
Okay.
William Dufty.
Mhm.
Le Mal du Sucre. Yeah.
William Duff.
Dufty. Yeah. been ages that that book's been
Yeah.
out, and that people are avoiding it.
Yes, I read it once.
So-
30 years ago.
So someone
It
who
still haunts you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
someone who eats sugar or has a sweet tooth
Yeah,
is someone who's
avoiding emotions,
avoiding emotions.
avoiding being in the body.
Isn't that the same as what all of these foods do? Like the craving, like the alcohol, for example, with the wood element? Like, does it put us in our head as well, or?
No, you see, sugar helps us avoid the body entirely,
Okay.
not just one particular emotion. It's like, let me out of here completely. No more emotions. Right? Hyperactivity, no emotions, right?
Mais
So,
si j'ai jamais envie de sucre, c'est parce que j'assume mes émotions?
Non.
Non.
Oh, si tu n'as jamais envie de sucre,
Ouais.
c'est parce
C'est
que...
rare. Parce que j'assume mes émotions? C'est ce que ça veut dire ça?
Probablement, ça veut dire qu'ils sont suffisamment sous contrôle que c'est pas un danger.
En fait, c'est l'autre opposé quasiment.
Et
C'est comme l'autre opposé parce que moi non plus, j'ai pas la dent sucrée, mais c'est aussi ne pas se permettre de.
Oui.
C'est comme l'autre opposé parce que dans le sucré, il n'y a pas juste le sucre blanc, il peut y avoir le
Oui.
miel qui est naturel, d'autres choses aussi.
mais est-ce que t'as le goût pour des choses salées?
J'avais
Mm.
j'avais plus, mais le sucre, pas vraiment.
Oui, c'est ça. When we have a craving for something, it means that something is arising in us that must be suppressed, right? So, if you ever felt like going into your body, then you would have a craving for sugar.
En fait,
As long as you're safely in your head, then it's no problem.
so that's about symptom. The good thing about symptom.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
It happens sometimes in wintertime.
Yes, because in winter is when we have a tendency to be more in our bodies, right? More in that inside dark space, right?
And could that be also the whatever swings which are associated with hormonal changes? Women crave sugar when they're on their period, or
Yeah, exactly.
Dark chocolate.
chocolate.
Yeah,
Depends.
Dark
yeah.
chocolate.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because that is also a time when things
Are arising.
are arising. Or
Yes, and also because the fact of having your period says, I am a woman, right? Yeah, get me out of here. Get me out of here. All of the ads that we hear or see or, about feminine protection are all ads about pretending that it's never happening. Nobody will know. Isn't that great? You can continue to be productive just like men.
Can you talk a little bit about that, about giving back, how women can give back to the earth? You have said that before, haven't you? Giving back to the earth when you menstruate. Something about that. You did. I mean, not during this time frame of sessions, but I remember you saying
When we are menstruating and the cervix is open, we are connected directly to the earth, right? And what people call PMS, right? Or when, people roll their eyes and say, oh, she's having a period. Right? We are connected to all of the emotions of the mother. That is when we have a lot of energy when we're menstruating. We have the power of all of the emotions of, if you want, the great mother, right? All of the sadness and the frustration and joy and everything. So we're hypersensitive and hyper open at that time, which is why in sweat lodges traditionally, women who are on their moon times, right, who are bleeding, are not allowed into the sweat lodge. Because the energy of a menstruating woman is huge and earth connected. And within the sweat lodge, the belief was that perhaps this huge earth-anchored energy is somehow counterproductive to calling in the spirits. Right? Again, it's duality. Right? Maybe what you're thinking about was when I was talking about doing ritual.
Maybe. I just remember hearing, I don't know, maybe I'm mixing up my words, but something about women, we are able to give back to the earth in this way, or something about giving back to the earth. I don't remember exactly.
There are many rituals around bleeding into the earth.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm hearing you talk about, but I don't
Yeah.
think I've spoken about it. But there's many, many rituals that work with that.
Right.
We give back to the earth whenever we're conscious of being part of the earth. In any men or women, whatever way we choose to do that.
Yes. Yes, of course. I wasn't trying to say that,
Rationalization, okay, is an intellectualization, is the survival tactic of this place in the cycle, right? So, being able to rationalize anything, lawyers. Lawyers, this is a good place for lawyers. Being able to make a case for anything, being able to make people believe that whatever version of reality that you express is absolutely valid and correct, and they should believe it too. see, each of us as individuals stands alone in the center of our circle. We, each of us, the image that comes is of our ancestors walking the circles of their lives. And we finally comes to stand still in the center. And we hold all of their lives with us in that stillness. And it's not only that. It's not only our bodies and our ancestors, it's through all the different lives that we've lived. We have walked in circles in different lifetimes until we come to the center point and stand still, carrying within us all of the stories of our lifetimes as well. And I see that as we stand still and connect as we did in meditation this morning to the earth and to the cosmos, that we achieve, that we assume that we stand in the place of the hero, I'm thinking of Ulysses and all of the mythic characters. So we stand in that place of having arrived, having done a long, 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 long journey and having come home again. The image that came was of standing in place and simultaneously, first the roots go down and then the interdimensional connections go up, and then there's this pulling together in a flash of light. From the heart. And then everything becomes light. So in a sense, you've got this spiral walking the earth of all of the ancestors that have created this body. And this spiral throughout time and space that the soul has made, walking through different lifetimes, who knows, different planets, different realities, and coming to this place. And the union of those two. has created your body, your life, your being, and consciously connecting the two. We arrive once more at our identity of oneness and source. Something that became clear to me at some point this week was that it's not necessarily the focus of our purposeful evolution. Okay, we tend to try to be more loving, to love more, right? To love more and more people. It's about, the focus tends to be on increasing love, right? But there's a twist. There's an understanding that's missing in that. And it's really, in a sense, about hating less. Because we are love. We are already love. And what has been layered on top of the love is hate, rejection, separation. So it's really about peeling off those layers to get to the light that's there anyway. Right? So it's not like we're growing in love, because that's just who we are anyway. Right? That's the core of our beings and our essence and our identities. It's really about peeling off everything that's not love. So we don't have to try to love. This is what I mean. That's who we are. And so everything that is not love in our lives, in our existence, is what we have to look at. You understand? That's what's in the way. Huh? And so the affirmations about I'm beautiful, I'm wonderful, I can do this. I believe in myself. You know what I mean? Okay. And, it's like, if so many people are so focused on vibrating highly, that the stuff that's in the way isn't being looked at, Like, instead of posting affirmations everywhere around the house, I deserve to live.
That could be another T-shirt.
That kind of stuff. Like, let's look at what you don't like.
But if you're getting everything that you want, though, with those affirmations, and it's rolling, like it's good for you. It's working.
Not for long.
No, because, in the same way as you can write a list of all of the things you want in a partner, and you will attract a person with all of those qualities.
Plus. Ta-da!
That's right.
Surprise! The other side of the...
That's right. It's all of the fine print, right? That you didn't see, right? Or the stuff written in invisible ink. That's why you're really attracted to that person, right? It's the stuff that you don't know.
About yourself.
Yeah, and about that
Like,
person.
And about that person.
Yeah. Right?
Totally.
And so it's the same with ourselves. So this is why I'm saying it's not necessarily about always being in the positive, quote unquote positive, as if the negative is bad.
Well, still in the list.
It's still in the
still has
list.
duality.
Exactly.
So instead of, as I said the other day, the whole idea of you can't love anyone till you love yourself and blah, 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 right? So love yourself. Okay. But the thing is, what's important is, okay, what are the things that you don't like? And why have you learned not to like them? So, okay, I don't like this thing about myself. Okay, where did I learn that this was wrong and unacceptable? And is that really true? So it's really, this is why I say it's about looking at the stuff that we don't like, that we hate and reject, and not hating or rejecting it anymore.
Except that it takes a place of safety, of knowing what, in a positive side, or I don't want to say it, but
It takes non-judgment.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Non-judgment. Right? And that, again, is the accepting of life as it is, exactly as it is. Some of it hurts, some of it feels good. It's all life. It's all a gift. I suppose the safe place that we can talk about is faith. No? The faith that life is abundance, that life is love and oneness. Some people believe that that is naive. Some people believe that that is irrational and ignorant. They have the right to believe that.
But you know, Dawn, all of this, it gives me vision way back again of that song by Murray. What's her name? The Canadian singer.
Anne Murray?
Anne Murray. You put me high upon a pedestal, so high I could almost see eternity. I don't remember the song, but those are the words. You know, maybe we do that to ourselves. We put ourselves so high that we get lost. No?
High in the sense of away from the ground.
Yeah.
In the sense of separate from the earth. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. The whole moon mission, you know, the whole desire to escape the earth. It's part and parcel of the desire to escape material reality because of a fundamental belief that it is a prison.
Here,
Yeah. Always, always back to duality. And our minds, when freed of duality and judgment, when we've done this work of bit by bit undoing all of the connections of the program, right? All the little
Fence.
wires, right? Yeah, the fence, taking out the pickets of the fence, right? Then we're free to create something truly unique for the first time. We're no longer creating a future based in the past.
So like, I keep going back to that. Let's say, for example, you have these deep wounds, you know, from your childhood or whatever. That's gonna drive you in many ways to do stuff. You know, let's say, for example, you grew up in a violent environment. That's gonna dictate a lot of your behavior and what you're attracted to and so on. And it maybe might even drive you to try to get me out of this pain, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, and might even cause you to go and do all this, do work, so that you can stop feeling this pain.
Yeah.
At the same time, you have this thing of looking at your programming, taking off the pickets and so on. But the thing is, if you do it with that intention, get me out of this pain as quickly as possible. That's kind of what I keep coming back to, like having that get me out of this pain thing, as opposed to there's an anxiety in that get me out of this pain kind of, you know, or like help me deal with responsibility better, for example, or something.
No,
As if you wanted.
help me define responsibility in a different way. Help me to define life in a different way, in the terms of, this is painful, let me get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The bottom line belief then is, life is painful.
Yes.
Let me find a way not to have it hurt. Right?
Correct.
Right? So, yes, that's when I was asking you before about the perfection of the lower heart. Right? Remember we were talking about the higher and the lower heart? And I asked you to reflect on what the perfection of the lower heart is. Is that our wounding, remember, our wounding is our passion. Our wounding is what carries us to eventually to oneness. Our wounding is in relation to something deep that whispers to us, some deep memory that it doesn't have to be like this. Right? Because if we simply submit to a definition of life equals pain, right? If we submit to that definition, then we don't go anywhere. And many, many generations have simply submitted to that belief and that definition of life. So, first of all, to get to a place of this hurts and I don't like it, get me out of here, that's a step towards something different. That's movement. Right? That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Just the definition of pain means that there's something else. Right?
The thing is, like what I see, like if you set that as a goal, for example, to heal yourself.
Yeah, goals are problems.
Goals are problems. A lot, because not only those things have their own time and their own way of healing and their own thing, might even take more than your lifetime, for example.
Well,
or if that's your goal, to kind of, see what I mean?
No, but a goal is a problem in that it's, by stating a goal,
It's like a deadline or...
by stating a goal, you are
it's duality.
rejecting, you're rejecting where you're coming from and saying that this is not good enough, I need to go there, and when I'm there, I'll be fixed.
Correct.
Things will be fine, right? So, goals, when we're talking about goals, we're talking about performance, we're talking about producing, we're talking about rejecting. Because who I am now is not good enough.
Correct.
Right? So, on one hand, that is going to propel us into something else. Like the Dalai Lama, who says that fear is a wonderful thing. Right? Because it makes us move. So we begin, if you wish, by this movement towards anything else, right? And that's great because there's movement. But then eventually we come back to non-movement again, right? And to that center point, that place of unconditional receiving.
Yeah.
Where I am now is perfect.
Yeah.
Right? And whatever life is bringing to me, and however I react to it, it's perfect. So that enlightenment and spiritual achievement and all of those superb superlatives, right, of accomplishment, do not necessarily mean being in a place of complete equanimity, you know? We still have emotions, right? Depending on what's moving through. But as it moves through, it just moves through, period.
Mm-hmm. At the same time, yeah, the thing is, you can do all this work that we're talking about with the idea that you're going to fix yourself, for example. Mm-hmm. You know? But, so maybe it's like, the question is like, how can you be taking the pickets off without having like that goal of taking your pickets off so you can, you know what I mean?
No, that's two different steps. Okay. If you're looking at the judgments and just observing them, that's simply a process of becoming aware. The challenge is in not judging the judgments, right? And judging the judgments comes when you've got a desire to not have judgments.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Can you just say that one more time? Non-judgment is when you have a desire.
See, this whole thing of spiritual evolution can be very tricky, you know, because you can become very proud that you've just seen a judgment. Right? Yay! You know? I've just seen a judgment. Right? Nasty judgment that was. Right? And so we see it and we go, ha ha, there I go again, you know? Judging judgments. And that's it.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. It's bit by bit, just accepting whatever it is that we're living in its perfection and in its perfection.
It's maybe it's, I don't know if it can add, it's like craving for something. I realized past few weeks that I was craving and it was difficult, you know, to stay with what was. So I did go with the craving, but then of course the body gets a little heavier, but the under state is coming back. Next morning you have it right, and then you know, you're maybe more at the stage of taking it. You know, I took a bath or whatever, and so it's like a balance of, you know, at this point I cannot, and not judging that I'm craving or that I'm I don't know, I'm just
yeah. We all come to whatever place we're at out of desire. Right? That's what we were talking about, passion. Right? And that always comes from a wounding of some kind. Wounding, I'm defining wounding as a sense of not being complete, not whole. Right? And so, whatever life we're living eventually brings us back. You know, all rivers end up in the ocean. Huh? So the river can come straight from the mountaintop and go crashing into the sea. Or it can wind its way around through marshes and eventually dilute itself into the delta, you know, and go into the ocean. Right? And some of them go slowly and some go really fast and some cut their way through the earth on the way. You know? We all end up in the ocean. Right? Whatever way whatever way happens for us, depending on that intricate and individual dance between those two stories of the soul and the body. So, just a second. So the assumption was that no movement can happen without desire.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, life is always moving. Huh? Life is always moving.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if you can if you can have all that movement of looking at the judgments and all that without a desire of some kind, being kind of.
Yeah, because if you're simply living, I mean, yes, you can say, well, I desire to live, so I'm breathing, and I'm, you know. Let's say that we've made a choice to be incarnate at this time, all right? So the choice is simply to live. And to see what it brings. Punto final, you know? Not about being any different for any particular reason. But I guess that's where faith comes in, right? That by living, simply by living, simply by observing and witnessing, we end up being much more joyful. And that doesn't have to be a goal, because just living is joyful. What a concept, you know? It's moving from living as pain to living as joy.
Okay.
So movement does not have to come from goals. Although you can say that we're all life is being moved towards source. Right? So in a sense, if we have a desire, it's to come back to that place of oneness. Right? The tricky part is the goal part.
Yeah.
You know? That's the tricky part. That's the part that then seeks recipes and efficiency and, you know, has a timetable and...
Yeah. That's failure and success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But the thing is that we already are source, and we're already there and don't know it. We're already there and have been told that we're not. You know?
Except for the sculptors. Just chipping off the layer.
Yeah, or like where these elements of light with stuff layered around and just came was those pinball machines, right? And you just going ding, 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 and each time some stuff goes flying. And then, you know, all the stuff flies off, and we go, all the bells ring. I have a PowerPoint.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Isn't that funny?
Yes, it is. It's really funny.
And you are going to tell me about it. Isn't that even funnier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that's more like it though. That's more your style.
Okay, so how do I have one, I just don't know how to work it, okay? I made it. How do I make this full screen?
Should be a little
Oops. So it would be. Oops. Here, it could be this one over here. Slideshow.
Okay. I've got a very small screen, I'm sorry. Okay, so, can you see?
Yep.
Can you see on there?
Perfect.
Maybe I should just put it straight onto your computer.
Maybe turn it this way a little bit.
Like this, you mean?
No, her screen towards the camera.
Okay.
Then can everybody see?
How's that? Can you guys see?
Yeah.
You gonna hold it that whole time?
Depends how long you're gonna talk for.
That's not gonna work.
Okay.
Can I just download it straight?
Isn't a computer gonna look funny on the
Yeah. Why don't you just
Yeah.
talk and we're gonna, and then I'll upload it.
Okay. So, Earth Cycles, Life Cycles. This is from the farm. And I don't know whether you can see, but there's a nice little path off of the path. Okay. Nature flows in circles and in spirals. These are all different, and I've made the images fuzzy so that you don't, your mind doesn't get too trapped in it. These are all the different ways that we see. This is the constellations around the sun. Constellations, right? This is ovulation, the cycle of ovulation. Once again, menstrual cycle. This is the cycle of water. Right? From water to cloud to rain to snow. The cycle of the tides, in and out. And from this cycle, these natural cycles, human beings have taken our own unnatural cycle.
This is
So, and this is my friend online. Whoops! Uh-oh! It is, okay. Right? And so, not only are there cycles in movement, there's cycles in form. The circles in form. Isn't that beautiful? Let's see.
Maybe can you just tilt it a little? Yeah.
That way?
Can
Yeah.
everybody
Better?
see? That?
That's
Okay.
better.
Okay. I'm going to have to remember. I haven't looked at this for a while. Okay, and these are also These are homes, right? Natural homes. Hold on, let me see.
I love the snail.
Yeah, the beehive, and that's a yurt. It's in Africa. The bird, the snail, yeah. Beaver Dam. This is Navajo. Traditional sacred spaces pattern themselves on nature. Right? So all traditional sacred spaces are in circles. So you have the medicine wheel. Oh. You have Stonehenge. You have a drumming circle, crop circles. You have the labyrinth in Chartres. Avebury. This is on Malta. This is the teepee. This is in this is Angkor Wat, right? This is in Ireland. This is Chinese. This is Greek. This is Skellig Michael on the islands off Scotland. All traditional sacred space. It's in circles. Honoring the movement, the natural movement of life. And many of us are going back to these ancient places that have all been built on key energy points on the planet and activating them. And this is from Hartwood Farm. This is the Sweat Lodge. This is a triple spiral. This is the Triskelion. This is the pattern of our the symbol for the farm. Our gardens are patterned in this way now. The triple spiral. And I'll let you just think about all the things that that means. Three being the manifestation, right? Mother, Father, Child. The Trinity in all of its forms. And here we have the medicine wheel. I'll send you all of this. Okay? It's PowerPoint. This is a description of the medicine wheel. This is the Cree one. This one is this is part of the teaching of Sun Bear. This is the different stones and crystals also shown in the medicine wheel. This is all indigenous people from Turtle Island, from the Americas. This is also a medicine wheel. This is a yantra, Tibetan.
What is it? Not a mantra.
Yantra.
A yantra.
Yeah, Y.
Okay.
Y-A-N-T-R. C'est un dessin sur lequel on visualise, on se concentre, on médite pour s'amener à une conscience quelconque. And each different design will bring you to a different awareness depending on the colors and the form.
Yeah.
And
That's what they do in the sand.
that's a little different. Yeah. Similar but different, yeah. It's this, in the process of doing the sand drawings, they're bringing those energies into the drawing. As they're praying, they're bringing those energies from the universe into the drawing. And then they wipe out the sand, but they take all of that sand and will then put it into the closest river, the closest body of water. And so it's not just about investing all of this energy and then understanding that all is impermanent. They also take this sand that's invested with all of this energy, and it heals the water of the place.
I didn't know that.
Yes, a lot of people don't know that part. You'll see that the Dalai Lama does this Kala Chakra initiation, and then always does it in places that are near to rivers or places that, like for example, when he did it here in Montreal, the sand was put into the fleuve, and then carried down through all the rest of North America. So the locations of these initiations are done very consciously. Aha! Now we've gone from the 4 to the 5. I understand. You put the human being in there, and you've got the mind involved. Consciousness is involved. You go from the natural world, which is the understanding of the medicine wheel and the division of 4, into a different kind of understanding with the 5. The idea is that all perfect music will resolve itself into the shape of the pentagram. This is Handel's Messiah. This is a mandala of the 5 elements. This is how we usually see them, right? And these lists will give you the different characteristics with each. And this will also give you the different characteristics with each element.
Does it mean that you're taking off the earth out of the wheel to put it in
the center?
In the center?
Exactly. Right there. Right? And this is the superimposing of the human and the natural world, and the using of the human element to transform the natural world, natural reality. This is the way off of the wheel of Maya. Okay, this is the first step. Metal element, right? Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Right? This is incarnation. It's all a mistake. Let me out of here. Right? Water element. Do I dare speak my truth? And we have Romeo and Juliet. We have Galileo. and we have Joan of Arc. This is what we learned about what happens when we speak our truth. Right? And here,
The truth.
this is also what we learned about what happens when you speak your truth. You get crucified. Right? This is a deep, deep learning in all of us. If we speak our truths, we'll be punished somehow. And this is what we're coming out of, is that deep belief. Wood element. I could have been a contender. Right? If only I got the right education, if only the whole world weren't against me, if only, right? If only you'd taken care of me, I could have been a contender, right? And this is, of all of the gin joints and all of the towns and all of the world, she walks into mine. Right? Like, right? This is a classic. Life's against me, right? Fire element. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Right? When you've just been hurt so much that you just put up a wall. That's one aspect, and this is the other aspect. Can you see this? Oh, pass it around. Okay? No. See, this is, you see this image?
You're holding a monkey?
No,
It's
this is a child holding his mother.
Oh, it's the mother. Okay.
Yes, the child is holding
Yeah.
the mother.
Right.
Right? And this is an ad for why you should adopt. Can you believe that? Yeah. Yes. This is an ad for trying to get people to adopt. Isn't that incredible? So this is another aspect of the heart element. Right? And this one. Delete cookies!
I like that. That's a good one.
That's who I am, right? What you love is who you are, right? Soil element. Oh yes, anyone for tea? So this is referring to, the rationalization. Like the Brits in the middle of a huge battle. Oh, it's 4 o'clock. Time for tea. Right? And they drink their tea and then they go out and slaughter more people. Right? So that's it's the Mad Hatter, right? And talk about an alternate reality. Okay, this one.
Yeah, we skipped one.
Did I skip one?
Yeah.
Sorry. How do I do that? Oh,
Go back.
yes.
Yeah, backspace.
So this is again soil element. This is the axis mundi. This is the center of a lodge and a drumming circle around the center of the lodge. The symbol of the center of the lodge is the axis mundi is the axis of the world that we become when we take our place with dignity, the center of the circle. And this is drawing on a shaman's drum from the Laplander, the Sami people, right? This is a shaman's drum, and you can see the axis mundi in it, right?
When we
And
take
that
our
is-
place in the circle. They become inaccessible.
That is traditionally the place of the priest, the rabbi, the shaman,
Mm.
at the center of the circle, connecting
Mm-hmm.
the human world with the spirit world. Well, that's
Mm.
where we take our places. And this again, this is a Buddha. It's supposed to be projected on a big screen. It's very hard to see, but it's
Mm.
it's
Mhm. Mhm.
it's a Buddha image.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I see.
Okay.
Can we take a little break?
Yes. So that was that was a PowerPoint that I made for for a conference, right? Describing this whole thing, this whole cycle, to